What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Riel. I'm here with Brian Michael Bendis, the writer of Civil War 2, which just came out, and the first issue has some gut punches in it. First one I want to ask you about is, why'd you kill War Machine?
Okay, so we should be honest. So what's happened here, just before we went on the air, I filled your head with Civil War 2 spoilers, not just for this issue, but other issues. So I want people to watch you, because right now you're reeling. I see you reeling. And you're putting on a good face, but there's reeling going on. I just want people to know that's what's happening.
Yes, I was stewing in silence after you told me this.
Yeah, I was being mic'd, and you were just going. So I enjoyed it.
So why Rhodey? Like, why did?
Well,
because he meant the most to Tony.
Yeah, well, and Carol. He actually is a character that has a very important part of Tony's life and a very important part of Carol's life. And so they lose something of equal value, but that means something different, both of them, but they both receive a loss in a very personal way based on a choice that was made. And it kind of amps up the drama, because what we have here is a story where all of the characters have actually been through all of the other events. They remember them, particularly Tony remembers a lot of events, Carol remembers a lot of things, so their instinct isn't to go to war with each other. They learned the lesson from Civil War 1 and other things, but it becomes so personal, it's hard, you can't get it back. Mm-hmm. And that it was important that the characters be on equal footing, both emotionally and philosophically.
That's crazy, because we actually saw this in the Free Comic Book Day issue where he took the hit, and I didn't think, oh, they're not going to show who dies in the Free Comic Book Day issue. This is some, you did! That's crazy. So what was the decision to put that out ahead of the story and not with people not knowing quite what it meant?
Well, there are a few things. Number one, it was the story we wanted to tell, and when you read the first issue, you see there's an escalating of visions, there's an escalating of power already happening with this young Inhuman that can see the future, and we'll discover that not only does he see them, he actually experiences these disasters. He feels them, like he has a really personal, like almost 9/11 experience every time this happens, and he can't control when they're going to happen. And he also doesn't know who Thanos is. Like he's just a normal kid. He doesn't know who Thanos is. So his vision, he comes to tell them, I saw this thing, and it was purple and with a chin, and that is rattling to the heroes, because they do know what they mean. They do know what the consequence of that is. Oh, Thanos is coming? We got to go deal with it. So we thought how interesting it would be to have basically the real inciting incident of the story be actually in Free Comic Day. Like, that's never been done before.
Yeah.
I'm just looking as a fan. As a writer, I have all these pieces. As a fan, what would surprise me the most? What would charm me the most? I'm like, oh my God, all right, something really happened in Free Comic Day. And also, like, I worked at a comic store. I love comic stores. I'm like, I gave you a Free Comic Day was worth a damn. You know what I mean? That was like something really happened you haven't seen before.
You will never miss a Free Comic Book Day again from Marvel.
I know, but we were excited about it. We'll talk about if I was a fan and I went to Free Comic Day and I'm like, oh, I got my free comics. I'm going to sit in the back porch on a lovely spring day and have some lemonade. And I'm like, whoa, something's happening, you know? And so we were really excited about that. And then you get the Zero issue, which kind of rewinds a little bit. And even if people didn't get to Free Comic Day, when they open this up, it will be quite a surprise to people who've already read the first issue. And again, if you haven't read the first issue, just stop watching this.
Yeah.
Read the first issue.
Oh, by the way, spoiler warning.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll lead with a spoiler graphic.
Okay, good.
This,
but I just thought and also, agreeing to do Civil War 2, it's like agreeing to do this a sequel to something that was so iconic and so well respected. And our attempt was to be a spiritual sequel, not when people hear sequel, they immediately think beat for beat, we're going to tell the same jokes and do the same beats, and it's going to be the same size and whatnot. And here we go again. It's not that. It's a spiritual sequel, because what they're fighting over does divide the heroes. It truly divides them morally. But how the story unfolds and what happens in the story is nothing like what happens in the first one. And we think this illustrates that the most event-fatigued naysayers will read the Free Comic Book Day and go, "Oh, okay, all right, that's not what I thought was going to happen."
Yeah.
All right, I mean, and that I say that my week has been since issue 0 came out, which was. Like that line from Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained. You had my attention, but now you have my whatever.
Yeah, now you have
like
my, you have my interest. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, and that's been very we won people over with just like we have an actual story to tell. The fact that it's called Civil War II is because when you read it and you see the heroes divided, you'll end up calling it Civil War II, so we might as well just call it that.
Right.
That was our boss said that to us. He goes, "We'll call it Civil War II." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "Well, they're gonna call it anyhow."
Yeah.
So just lean into it.
And I'm gonna ask you this because I know the internet is gonna probably blow up your Twitter and Tumblr with this. But is he really dead? Is Rhodey actually
Rhodey's
dead?
dead.
Okay. There's no, he's not gonna come back at the end or next month or something like that. Like he is dead for the foreseeable future. That's sad. Okay.
I know. And truthfully, I don't take any pleasure in it. And I was, I took the time in the Iron Man book this year to really express my love for Rhodey because I do have a lot of love for the character, even though I hadn't spent a lot of time with him. So we did a very cool, me and Mike Deodato spent this last 6 months really giving Rhodey the best of Rhodey in my opinion.
It's been great.
I also was super sensitive to opening the event by killing the African American character, but it really came down to there's nobody that was this thing to both those characters more than Rhodey, and it would almost be weird not to do it for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's for true diversity means equal, everything equal, and this is where this goes. And I know I'll get some crap for that online, but there's this was the story that was being told, and it was being told honestly, and it just happened. And then I did put it in the equation of doing that, but what we're gonna come out with on the other side maybe. To people who were worried about that, I think you'll be happy with what we come out with it on the other side.
Okay. Yeah.
If you've already got a sense, there's a new character in Iron Man called Riri Williams, who's a young African American genius who's already reverse engineered her own armor, and we'll see what happens with her in the context of the Iron Man universe.
Okay, that's fair. Also, another character who seemed to have bit it is She-Hulk.
Yes.
So you were just first Rhodey and now She-Hulk, and
I have it in my contract.
Anyone can do
that. Every time I do an event, I get to do something really bad to She-Hulk. that I've been accused of that on Tumblr. They go, "So that's your thing? You do an event and you kill Hawkeye and mess up She-Hulk?" But no, that's not the case. The She-Hulk story is to be continued.
Okay.
Well,
interesting.
I'm not saying she lives or dies. I'm not saying anything, but there's more to the story.
Okay, because my heart can only take so much.
You were a gentle flower, and I feel we'll be hugging for a long time after this.
I like these characters. Okay,
I do too. By the way, I do too. I really, really do, and I know that and I know every one of these characters, including Rhodey, is somebody's favorite character. And so when the decision to do that, to tell these stories comes down, we take it very seriously. We talk about it as a group. We talk about it in individual pockets of people. It's not done lightly. It's not done with a giggle, which I do. I get that sometimes online. You just think it's so fun. No, actually we don't. We love these characters, but at the same time, we're also dramatists, if I may be full of myself. And drama must unfold.
Yeah.
The things happen to these characters, and this is the story as it told. And you're like, yeah, but you wrote it. I'm like, yeah, it's hard to describe, but when you're in it, it starts to tell itself. And this is the way it was going.
Okay. Well, there it is, everybody. This has been Brian Michael Bendis, killer of Rhodey, and maybe She-Hulk. And maybe She-Hulk. No. Thank you so much for the.
And also, listen, may I say though, we have big numbers on this. I thank you everyone for supporting the book, and and I know people came into this nervous, and they're probably even more nervous now because
now they are.
This
who
is
else?
Just the first issue. I'm telling you, issue 3 is even bigger. Issue 5 bigger than that. The story will continue and build. Things will reveal itself that may make people who are on Team Tony right now be on Team Carol by issue 4. I'm excited to see that. Remember, if you can, that the author of the book is a real person, and the characters are fictional, and to treat them accordingly.
There you go. Well, that's been talk for Civil War 1. We cannot wait to see what happens next. I'm a little scared, but for more on Civil War 2...
Batman dies.
What?
I'm sorry.
Keep it here on IGN.